Hi, welcome to the latest pig research farm update video. So I've been looking over some figures from our farrowing rooms and weaning rooms, or weaning figures over the last few years, and just seeing how things have changed. So if we go back as far as 2021 up to 2024 and have a quick look into the key figures from those time points. So if we start off with our born alive, our born alive in 2021 was 15.7, and in 2024 that has risen up to 16.3. So that's almost half a pig more. And I would say, I spoke about it in the last update video, that we're seeing this born alive trending upwards all the time. And in the last few months alone, it's been steadily increasing again. So I think this time next year, when I'm reporting these figures, I think there'll be that jump again, if not more. I haven't done the quarterly figures for 2025 yet. There's another few weeks to go, but I feel that born alive is going to be closer to 17 at that time point. And then if we look at our key figures from the weaning, so our average weaning in 2021 was 13.1, and in 2024 this is now 14.1. So that's up a whole pig in that timeline. We're relying more and more on our cull sows to be foster sows. So when a batch is going into the farrowing rooms, I'm highlighting who my cull sows are, and I'm pulling them out to be a foster sow in the next batch for another go. Without them, I don't think we'd have, in reality, have reached that 14.1 in 24. We've had a huge reliance on those foster sows in the last 4 to 5 months, definitely, of 2024. And likewise, our born alive, as I said, is increasing significantly into 2025. So we will be still relying on these foster sows in 2025 as well to maintain that average weaning. And then if we touch on the weaning weight as well, so in 2021 our average weaning weight was 8.3 kilos, and in 2024 this was 8.6 kilos. So not a huge jump, like 300 grams. Before I looked at the data, I would have said that this was going to be a much higher figure. I have physically felt it inside when we're lifting the pigs at weaning. They're getting heavier and heavier. So I had to look back at the figures and see why there wasn't more of an increase. And as we would have talked about previously, we have been breeding our own gilts on site now since 2023. And their progeny is coming through our weaning batches as well. So the purebred progeny is taking up about 16% of a weaning batch, and they have a much lower weaning weight when they're coming through. And this is actually, when I was looking at the figures, this is what's diluting down the farm, say the regular farm weaning weights. So this is an area I'll probably look at over the next while and see if I can separate out our regular farm production figures from our purebred progeny figures and have a better idea of what the actual weaning weight was for the regular herd, say for 2024. So that's kind of our quick look at those figures. And then if I just lastly touch on some strategies that we're trying to incorporate into the unit for 2025. So previously we would have talked about how we felt that we were getting a good amount of starter into our piglets in the farrowing rooms. We felt that they're developing quite fast, and due to this in 2024 we would have been cutting back the amount of starter that we were giving them in the weaner rooms. So we're looking at this nutritional strategy again, and this time now for 2025 we're actually going to wean some of our litters straight onto link in the weaner rooms. So we feel that they're developed enough for this adjustment, and yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they go throughout the year, and look at these litters specifically and have a look at it then at the end of the year and see what that information that gives us. And likewise then We're also looking to move our pigs out of our weaner accommodation a week earlier than their current timeline and move them over to the finisher area. So again, nutritionally, we do feel that they're developed enough for this adjustment. And then we feel that the space allowance that this is going to give the pigs by moving them out of the weaner accommodation that week earlier is going to have huge benefits for them. So yeah, these are our two strategies that we're kind of focusing on throughout this year ourselves, and just seeing how that plays out, what kind of data that gives us, and hopefully by the end of the year I'll be able to give you some feedback on this and see what we've learned from it. So yeah, thank you for listening to this update video, and hopefully we'll see you again in the next one. Thanks.